Hello, third class. This is your new story for this week. It's 14B and it's called The Hodge Heg. Now, as you know, it sounds like a story about a hedgehog, and by the pictures you would think that, but it's changed the other way around, so we'll have to find out why. So we'll read the story. Max the hedgehog is worried about how many of his hedgehog friends are run over on the roads. He's trying to learn how humans cross the road safely. He decides to try crossing at a zebra crossing. This then was the magic place. Here humans could cross in perfect safety. If humans can, why can't hedgehogs? Reasoned Max. But how do people know the exact spot? How do cars and lorries know when to stop? Cautiously he shuffled nearer, keeping close to the wall, until he found himself beside a tall checkered pole, on top of which was a glowing orange globe. Across the street he could see was a similar pole, and between these two poles the humans walked, while the traffic waited. There you can see a picture of him about to cross the road. Biding his time till a moment when there was no one about, Max crept forward to the edge of the raised road and peered down at the surface of the street. It was striped. It was striped black and white all the way from one surface to another. This was a secret. By now it was quite late. The rush hour was over. The shops were shut. All was quiet. I'll wait, thought Max, and then when a car or lorry comes along, I'll cross in front of it. So we just have a wee look at some of the words in black before we move on. The first one there is cautiously. Cautiously doing something is to do something carefully. Next one there is biding his time. So biding means waiting for the right moment. Soon he saw something coming. It was a lorry. He was halfway across when he suddenly realised that the lorry hadn't slowed up at all and was almost on top of him, blinding him with its brilliant lights, deafening him with its thunderous roar. It was not going to stop. Lorries only stop for people, not hedgehogs. The lorry driver, who until he was almost upon the crossing had been quite unaware of the tiny pedestrian, did the only possible thing. With no time to brake or swerve, he steered so as to straddle the little animal. Looking back into his wing mirror, he saw that it was continuing on its way unhurt, and he grinned and drove on into the night. The sheer horror of this great monster passing above with its huge wheels on either side of him threw Max into a blind panic, and he made for the end of the crossing as fast as his little legs could carry him. He did not see the cyclist silently pedalling along close to the curb, and the cyclist did not see him until the last moment. Feverishly, the man twisted the handlebars, and the front wheel of the bicycle suddenly wrenched round, caught Max on the rump, and catapulted him headfirst into the face of the curbstone. The next thing Max recalled was crawling painfully under his own front gate. Somehow he had managed to come back over the zebra crossing. He had known nothing of the concern of the cyclist, who had dismounted, peered at what looked like a small dead hedgehog, sighed and pedalled sadly away. He remembered nothing of his journey home, wobbling dazedly along on the now deserted pavement, guided only by his sense of smell. All he knew was he had an awful headache. We look at some of those words in black then again. Thunderous roar is something very loud, so a very loud roar. Unaware, so unaware is not to be aware of or didn't notice. Pedestrian is someone or something travelling on foot. Feverishly is in a fever, so maybe eagerly or wildly. Wrenched round is twisted or jerked or pulled around. Caught Max on the rump is on the bottom. Catapulted means to throw him in the air, so he's thrown through the air head first into the curb. The next thing Max recalled is to remember. He dismounted, he got off his bike, so dismount, you get off a bike or an animal like a horse or something. Dazedly is confusedly or in a daze, and deserted means empty. The family had crowded round him on his return, all talking at once. "Where have you been all this time?" asked Ma. "Are you all right, son?" asked Pa. "Did you not cross the road?" they both said, and Peony, Pansy and Petunia echoed, "Did you? Did you? Did you?" For a while Max did not reply. His thoughts were muddled, and when he did speak his words were muddled too. "I got ahead on the bump," he said slowly. The family looked at one another. "Something bought me on the head said Max, "and then I headed my bang. My ache bad's headly." "But did you cross the road?" cried his sisters. "Yes," said Max wearily. "I hound where the Fumans cross over, but But the traffic only stops if you're a human, interrupted Pa. Yes, said Max, not if you're a hedgehog. And that's an extract from The Hodgehog by Dick King Smith. And there's the family there at the end. Some words there that aren't in black, but maybe muddled there means his thoughts were muddled or mixed up. And is there another one? Yeah, so we move on. So we look at part C first, so the vocabulary section. Number 1, Max cautiously shuffled nearer to the road. So cautiously means hastily, quickly, carefully, or foolishly. And cautiously there means see carefully. Number 2, we cleaned the house feverishly before Mom got home. So A, slowly, B, frantically, C, lazily, or D, quietly. And feverishly means B, frantically. Number 3, Emma wrenched the diary out of her sister's hand. Ripped, broke, dashed, or smashed. Wrenched it, she ripped it from her hand. Number 4, the wheel hit Max on his rump, his spine, his behind, his head, or his foot. And that's B, behind. Number 5, Dad could not recall where he put his keys. Forget, remove, reveal, or remember, and recall is D, remember. And number 6, the pavement was deserted. It was busy, inhabited, silent, or empty. Deserted means empty. And now on to the next page, the vocabulary section on D there. And the words are biding, unaware, pedestrian, thunderous, dazedly, and dismounted. So first one is the man climbed out of his car after the accident. So number 1 there would be dazedly. So that's in a confused state or in a daze. Number 2, the children had been taught to wait at the something crossing. And that's number 2, pedestrian crossing. Number 3, Max was something of the approaching cyclist. And that would be number 3, unaware of the approaching cyclist. Number 4, we waited patiently, something our time. So that would be biding our time for number 4. The children something and put their bikes in the shed. So the children dismounted for number 5 and put the bikes in the shed. And number 6, the singer walked on stage to the sound of something applause. And number 6 is thunderous applause. And the grammar section you have to do for this week is a revision of capital letters and punctuation. So punctuation is commas, full stops, question marks, that kind of thing. So write the sentences with correct capital letters and punctuation. So you can see them there. I'll give you the answers. So play on the video when you're ready to correct. So have you seen Max anywhere? So that should be a capital letter, capital M for Max, and should be a question mark at the end for a question. Number 2, Amy and Brendan are going to Cork. So capital letters first for names, Amy and Brendan, and cities, Cork, and right at the end, full stop. Number 3, do your holidays start in July? So capital letter at the start of the sentence, capital letter for a month, and it's a question, so you need a question mark there. Number 4, oh no, the cyclist is going to hit Max. So, oh no. And for oh no, after it you could do an exclamation mark, which means that the needs a capital letter. Oh no, capital letter there, cyclist is going to hit Max. Capital letter for Max. And a full stop there. Now, number 5 there. Harry went for a walk on Tuesday. So capital H for Harry. And day of the week, Tuesday, gets a capital letter and it needs a full stop at the end. Number 6. I saw Buckingham Palace in London. So capital I for I. Buckingham Palace, a place, needs a capital letter each, and London needs a capital letter and a full stop at the end. Number 7, did I lend my book to you? So did, capital letter, capital I, to you, and it's a question, so you need a question mark at the end. And number 8, quick, it's starting to rain. So quick, it's starting to rain, and a full stop at the end. Now, the second part of that grammar section is writing the sentences using correct speech marks. So you remember a speech mark goes where there's direct speech. So let's look at number 1. I'm so glad we didn't miss our flight, said Dad. So a speech mark can be one speech mark, which one it looks like a 6, or you can do a double, so it looks like 66, and 99 or 19 or 2 nines at the end to close it. I'm so glad we didn't miss our flight, said Dad. Now, before you close the speech marks, you have to put in some sort of punctuation there. So it could be an exclamation mark or a comma or something like that, or a question mark if it's a question. So Dad has said a statement. I'm so glad we didn't miss our flight, said Dad. And there's a full stop at the end. Did you cross the road? Asked Peony. So again, open it for direct speech. Did you cross the road? And close it then after the question mark. Make sure the question mark goes in first, or the comma goes in first, or the exclamation mark, and then you close the direct speech. Ask Peony, and she's got capital letter and she's got a full stop at the end. I've got a terrible headache, Layla groaned. So open your speech mark. I've got a terrible headache. You could do an exclamation mark there, and then close your speech mark. Layla groaned. Ma'am, the little boy called. Where are you, ma'am? So, ma'am, that's opened up for there. And close it off there because the little boy called is not direct speech, so you have to do two. And then, where are you, ma'am? So open it again for where are you, ma'am? And close the question mark after, or close the direct speech after that question mark. Number 5, I'm so tired, I sighed. So open up for I'm so tired. Again, you could do a comma or an exclamation mark and close it after your comma or exclamation mark. I sighed, full stop. Oh no, exclaimed the cyclist. I hit the hedgehog. So again for oh no, exclaimed the cyclist. And then again for I hit the hedgehog and close it at the end. Number 7, where have you been all this time? Asked Ma'am. Again, open it for where and close it after the question mark. Asked Ma'am. My dinner is cold, Sean complained. So that's the direct speech. Maybe a wee exclamation mark there. Close it after the exclamation mark. Sean complained. And then part F is writing skills. You can read that yourselves and have a go at it. So you're rewriting this long sentence. Now, so you're rewriting that sentence and rewrite the following one as well. It's easy enough. And then G is the writing part for this week, which is the plan of the story you did last week. So you can write a wee story. You can write in your free writing copybooks, and it could be on, was it a pet or something like that? Yeah. So I'll let you decide that yourselves. Okay, good luck this week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.